Good morning, I'm Chris from Brauns Motorsports. Today we're going to install a Winfield carburetor upgrade on a 1930 Ford Model A 4-banger. We're going to remove the original one-barrel Ford carburetor. I'm going to show you the difference between it and a Winfield performance carburetor. We're going to install the Winfield, we're going to start it up, we're going to tune it, and we're going to drive it. So let's get to it. One of the backstories of these carburetors was Ed Winfield came to Ford early on in the 30s and offered to sell him Winfields for the Model A 4-bangers and for the V8s. Ed wanted around $3 to $4 for these carburetors, and Ford was only willing to pay, I think, $1.95. So needless to say, Winfields never came on the factory cars. All right, let's check out the differences between the two carburetors. Here is a factory Ford Tillotson carburetor. It's a one-barrel, the same bore size as the Winfield that we're going to upgrade. It has an idle mixture screw. It has a float bowl assembly, much smaller than the Winfield. It has a choke, and it has a single jet for fuel delivery. It works, okay? Here's the bad boy Winfield. Same bore size. Winfield makes an adapter for every updraft conversion for all Fords, GMs, Chryslers, Hupmobiles. Let's take a look at the advantages of Winfield. It's got a bigger float bowl, it's got an idle mixture screw, it's got an intermediate screw, and it's got a high-speed screw. These are jets. It has a choke. The bore size is the same that one we're replacing. The fuel delivery on these things are much more efficient. Generally, you can pick up 5 miles an hour, or if you have multiple carburation, up to 10 miles an hour faster. They were better to tune idle-wise. Intermediate, they were able to be tuned, and the high speed. So the performance was much better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to install the Winfield, we're going to start it up, we're going to tune it, and we're going to drive it. I'm going to point out a few things that we did to make this installation go faster. We used the existing fuel line and we rebent it and made it fit for the Winfield. We took out the choke rod and we put in a universal choke cable and put it underneath the dash in the same location. A couple other things to note. Idle mixture screw, we set it at 1.5 turns out. The intermediate and the high-speed screws we set at 2 turns out. That generally works for everything. One thing to remember, you got a vacuum port going in here to the wipers. Other cars may have other vacuum sources. You want to make sure that those vacuum sources are holding. They're not a leak. It's going to affect the tuning on the carburetor. This particular one went to the wiper motors and it had a vacuum leak, so it wouldn't tune. Always check to make sure you have no vacuum leaks. So now we're going to turn on the fuel petcock and we're going to wait for the fuel to gravity feed into the bowl, and you can see how that's done. All right, we're going to take out the float bowl level screw, and we're going to watch and check with a screwdriver to see if it's full of fuel. And the way to do this is just stick a drill or a screwdriver in there and tap it. When you see the fuel come out, fuel's already filled the bowl. Yeah, the float's come up and it's shut off the needle and seat, and it's not running out. So we're ready to go. So now we're going to start this thing up. Okay, I've got it started. Now we're going to adjust the carburetor. All right, what we're doing first is the idle mixture screw. Like any other carburetor, we turn it into a lean roll, or where the RPM drops. Do it a couple of times and then back it out to its highest RPM. Don't get too aggressive with this. Usually half a turn out from a lean roll and you'll be fine. Now we're going to the intermediate mixture screw. That's right behind the idle mixture screw. We got to raise the RPM up about 1500 to get the air flowing. We're going to treat that just like the idle mixture screw. Once the RPM is up, we turn the mixture screw in till we get a RPM drop. Then we back it out about a half a turn from the lowest RPM. So turn it into a lean roll and back it out about a half a turn. Do it 2 or 3 times. You'll see the RPM changes and improves, and then stop right there. That's good for cruising. The screw right across from it is a high speed. I turn those out 2.5 turns from bottoming out. Leave it at that. You're all set to go.